Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? It's your homie DJ Be Easy giving you another episode of the Mix Up Podcast, and we got a very, very special guest in the building right now, Todd. Just say what's up to the people real quick.
Hello, everyone. This is Todd Andrews Couture talking to you down in the basement.
The basement that we call CPR Records, the CPR Records studio officially and whatnot. I've been knowing you for a while, brother, and it's an honor to actually sit down with you and have the radio station / podcast interview with you, because you're busy doing things. How long you been in the whole fashion world, and what was some of your inspirations to get into fashion?
Well, now it's been 20 years.
20 years?
Almost 21 years. Yep.
Okay. I'm going to have that sit for a second. You said 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you still look like you're in your 20s, sir.
Wow. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
But that's experience, man. So, like, just like going to the store, or just what got your mind focused on fashion to start it off with?
Well, I would have to say my grandparents. They were always sharply dressed, and they dressed us really sharp.
Okay.
And that's when fashion first started for me. Mm-hmm. And then I think one day I started playing on my grandmother's sewing machine, and she never was like a sewer or anything.
Yeah.
And I think I was playing with it at nighttime. Like when she would go to sleep, I would start playing with her sewing machine because I was, intuitive.
Yes.
And always was looking for something that was mechanical or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, "Did you break my sewing machine?" One day when I came home from school, and then she was, I had to tell her. I was like, "Yeah, I did it." She's like, "Well, let me show you how it works."
Okay.
And so that's when I first started sewing.
Sure, that was a great experience, and also it could have been a bad experience, because it could have been like, hold on, you broke my sewing machine, and then you know how our families get down and whatnot. But she was actually the MVP in that situation where, okay, it's obviously you're intrigued. Let me teach you how to do this thing.
Yes, definitely.
So that's shout out to Grandma.
Shout out to Grandma Doris.
Grandma Doris, man, for real. So, like, right now in the current state of fashion, what's your thoughts on it?
I mean, I like where fashion is going, especially for men. Before, men were, really stuffy with their fashion. They didn't want to step out. Now you're seeing platforms, you're seeing bell bottoms coming back. You're seeing men with floral. You're seeing a cowboy look. I mean, it's so many different things that's transpiring right now as far as fashion. I think it's being very liberating for men. I mean, as well as women too. But I think more for men, I think they're able to step out the box, and they don't have to feel like it's gender neutral, or like they're looked at in a certain way if they wear a floral shirt or ruffled blouse or different patterns. I think they're more free now. They don't feel like they have to do what everybody else says they should do. So that's where I think fashion is going. I think it's it's really being more open, for people.
And that's a beautiful thing, because even thinking about what you just said, like, pretty much back in the day is like, okay, my standard white button-up regular suit, black, navy suit, navy blue. But now it's like, okay, I could, do a little bit more. I could have a green suit with gold on it or whatever. Like, like you could explore. You could, in a sense, get out of the black and white and live in color.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, and also like just different combinations, and also like just people that used to frown on wearing suits with Jordans or Air Maxes. Now it's like, okay, you could actually do it and make it look classy.
Oh yeah, that was very taboo.
Yeah.
So especially back in like the 80s and the 90s, like everything was Adidas hat, Adidas t-shirt, Adidas jeans, Adidas sneakers, Adidas everything. Everything had to match.
Yeah.
But I never saw it as that, and now it's like people are more free. They'll wear a Nike hat with an Adidas shirt, or a Puma sweats. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, it's fashion.
Yeah,
fashion is supposed to be
a statement in a sense.
Statement,
a reflection.
And it's supposed to be fun.
Yeah,
it's not supposed to be stifled. I don't think it should be stifled.
Not at all. It's supposed to be flowing or whatnot. Peace and blessings, y'all. So, okay. So, shows now. Like, how long have you been putting on shows? And also, with 2020 being 2020, what's the game plan for 2021 for like different fashion shows and whatnot?
I've been doing a lot of other people's fashion shows for like years. You know, they'll invite me and I'll do a piece for them, and I'll do it part of like the fashion show. But my first fashion show that I did was in 2017 at Passages Art Gallery, and that was really fun for me to do something on my own and bring in models and a whole crew of people for lighting, and you just never know how big fashion really is until you have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
You know, bring in certain people to teach people how to walk. You know.
So it was a full-on production in the sense.
Oh, it was really a full-on production. Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
So right now, going into 21, everything is so virtual. So now I think for everybody is figuring, I think people are still figuring, some people aren't because they're so used to virtual, how to make it work, especially in the fashion world with doing fashion shows. You know, I'm not sure of how I'm going to do it, but I'm pretty sure we'll find a way to make things in somewhat virtual.
Like virtual, and then also when it starts getting warmer outside. Like a lot of people feel comfortable, way more comfortable doing stuff outside right now. You know, during these times. And then something I learned, like actually watching the Super Bowl halftime show, because I know a lot of people had their different thoughts on the Weeknd's performance, but that one scene where it looks like there was zombies with stuff on their face, that was actual clever way of having to wear a mask.
It look like a mask.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
But it was just funny because he used that so that everybody would still be safe, but it still was a part of how he's been doing his shows, is looking like the wrapped up face, you know. So I think that was a lot of fun, and I think it was really inventive way of keeping people safe at the same time.
And then honestly, I'll give him credit because I know he's getting a lot of heat on the internet, like, what are you doing, da-da-da, like, I'm gonna tell my kids, you know, like looking at a Richard Pryor picture of the same suit, I'm going to tell my kids that's the Weeknd. But I give him credit because with everything, all the restrictions, he actually made it happen. And I heard he put out some of his own money into this too.
Oh yeah.
So I give him credit for just the creativity and, in a sense, giving us a blueprint of like, okay, if you want to do an event with a lot of people with the current, you know, whatever is going on in different states, because whatever's happening in Massachusetts, New York, and Connecticut, Texas, Alabama, Florida, they got their own set of rules. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just comfort zone and whatnot. So that was a great blueprint, and shoot, that got me thinking like of stuff that you can do to just incorporate, like, because I'm thinking as an idea, like, you know, 2 years ago, actually technically it's been 3 years since the Black Panther movie came out and whatnot. That was 2018. So I was thinking about a theme of just a tribal theme, but also you could actually incorporate the mask. So that's just an idea I got in my head that I'm throwing to you and whatnot. So different ways to make it work. Any shout outs to anybody that's doing their thing right now in the world? And just, anybody you want to shout out?
Well, just a shout out to anybody who's doing fashion and just continuing to do their thing, especially in small business. So that's where my shout out's going.
Yeah, because one thing with 2020, it crippled a lot of small business, you know, owners and whatnot. But the thing is, like, it also showed people, okay, do you really love what you're doing? Because if you love what you're doing, you're gonna be able to find a way to get back in it. It's gonna be difficult, but you'll figure a way back to business, back to doing what you love doing. And what I realized, whoever had like a good, strong clientele, and they were, you know, still around, they're the ones that survived.
Yeah.
So that also is a reflection of like, okay, what were you as a business owner in 2018, 2019? So, because, you know, depending on the market, business could come to people easy, and the people that's owning the business could just, you know, it could just be regular people, but due to the market, they're thriving, they're surviving, they're making money. But with this, you see who's the real hustlers. You see who really cares about it, who really lives about it. So you're here.
Yeah,
you're here, man. What else I wanted to ask you, man? Because, oh yeah, let people know about the website and like where they could get all the fly clothing from.
Well, right now I'm not doing a website because my clothes are pretty much handmade, custom made. So if you want to hit me up, you can definitely come to my studio.
Yes.
That's at 30 Arbor.
Yes.
And you can get something custom made by me.
Enough said. This brother, when I say he makes his own clothes, he makes it. Like, so he just said it directly, like the Instagram tag. Yeah.
You can get on my Instagram, which is Todd Fashion, and also on Facebook, Todd Andrews.
Nice. So yeah, we're gonna keep building for 2021. There's a lot of exciting things that's gonna happen in March, April, through the summer to next fall. So let's keep building, and thank you for just coming through, brother. You know what I'm saying? Long time in the making, but it was worth the timing.
Yes.
And also shout out to Young D, Connecticut People Records.
CPR Records.
You know, providing the awesome space and whatnot. And also shout out to Jill Scott, Erykah Badu for just making a timeless hit in the background.
Yes.
Yeah, peace and blessings, guys. We'll be back next week.